Are you doing all the right things? Eating clean, cutting calories, staying active, but still feel like your energy, skin, and metabolism are moving in the wrong direction? You're not alone. Aging isn't just about wrinkles or gray hair. It's about what's happening internally. And here's the surprising truth most people don't realize. Aging is not just about time. It's about metabolic damage that includes poor insulin sensitivity, liver congestion, low mitochondrial function, and hormonal imbalances, all of which accelerate aging on the inside and outside. Now, here's the part that should really get your attention. Even if you're eating healthy, many common foods marketed as anti-aging are packed with sugar, carbs, or inflammatory compounds that silently age your body faster, especially after 40 or 50. So today we're flipping the script. I'm going to show you 8 of the most powerful zero-carb, zero-sugar superfoods specifically designed to help seniors reverse aging naturally by targeting root causes at the cellular and hormonal level. No hype, no trendy miracle berries, just deeply therapeutic, nutrient-dense foods that repair your body's metabolic engine. Here's what's really going on inside your body as you age. Your cells start producing less energy, your insulin becomes less sensitive, your liver becomes congested, and inflammation sneaks in silently, disrupting everything from brain function to skin elasticity. The result? You feel more tired, you store more fat, you recover more slowly, and your risk of chronic disease increases, even if your diet looks clean on paper. But here's the empowering part. When you support the liver, stabilize insulin, and give your mitochondria the right fuel, your body can start to reverse many of these aging signals naturally. That's what today's video is about. You'll learn why cutting sugar isn't enough and which zero-carb superfoods actually restore cellular function. How these foods target aging at the mitochondrial, hormonal, and inflammatory levels. When and how to use them, with exact timing, combinations, and protocols, and how to use food like medicine without relying on expensive supplements or medications. And if you're someone who wants to stay sharp, lean, and energized well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond, this information could be a game changer. Let's start with a major myth that's holding a lot of people back. As long as it's low carb, it's anti-aging. Not quite. See, there's a big difference between low carb and zero carb, especially when it comes to reversing the signs of aging at the cellular and hormonal level. Low carb foods might still contain enough hidden sugars or insulin triggers to disrupt your metabolism. And that matters more as you age because your body becomes less efficient at handling even small amounts of glucose or starch. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, insulin sensitivity naturally declines, meaning your cells don't respond to insulin as well as they used to. So even moderate amounts of carbohydrate can trigger exaggerated insulin responses, leading to fat storage, fatigue, and inflammation. Insulin is like a storage hormone. When it's high, your body shuts off fat burning and switches into store mode. And here's the kicker. Chronically elevated insulin is one of the fastest accelerators of aging, from brain fog and belly fat to sagging skin and joint degeneration. So to reverse aging naturally, one of the most powerful strategies is to give your body foods that are truly insulin-nemal, zero sugar, zero starch, and rich in nutrients that stabilize hormones, not spike them. That's where Superfood 1 comes in. Superfood 1, grass-fed beef liver, or desiccated liver supplements. Now, I get it, liver doesn't sound exciting, but let me explain why this zero-carb organ meat is one of the most powerful anti-aging foods on earth. Think of your cells like little engines, and over time those engines slow down unless you give them the right kind of fuel and repair materials. Beef liver is nature's multivitamin. And more importantly, it's a zero-carb powerhouse that delivers retinol, true vitamin A, essential for skin repair, immune health, and hormone regulation, choline, crucial for liver detox and brain function, copper, zinc, and iron in perfect ratios, to support mitochondrial energy, CoQ10 to supercharge ATP production inside your cells, B12 and folate, which help your body methylate and detox properly. In other words, the liver doesn't just nourish you, it rebuilds you. It's particularly helpful for people over 50, when nutrient absorption slows down and deficiencies become more common. Plus, it contains zero sugar, zero starch, and no insulin-stimulating carbs, so it doesn't interfere with fat burning. Let me explain with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a house. As you age, that house gets a little worn down. Paint chips, pipes corrode, lights flicker. Now, most people try to patch it up with cosmetic fixes, like creams or supplements. But what liver does is give your body the raw building materials to rebuild the foundation from the inside out. It's like handing your body premium wood, metal, and wiring so it can restore itself, not just mask the damage. And the best part? It's instantly usable by the body. These nutrients are in their activated, most bioavailable forms, no complex conversions required. How to use it? If you're new to eating liver, start with 1-2 odds of cooked beef liver once or twice a week. Make sure it's grass-fed and from a clean source. If you can't tolerate the taste, use a desiccated liver capsule daily. 4-6 capsules equals about 1 ounce. Combine it with lemon juice or apple cider vinegar to enhance mineral absorption. Research highlight a study published in Nutrients 2022 emphasized the importance of micronutrient repletion in healthy aging, particularly choline, B12, and retinol, all of which are found in liver at clinically therapeutic levels. And clinical observations consistently show that seniors who increase organ meat intake, especially liver, report improvements in skin elasticity, energy, sleep, and focus within weeks. If this is helpful so far, consider giving this video a like. It helps more people discover this kind of real, science-based health information. Let's talk about one of the most misunderstood yet essential components of healthy aging, dietary fat. For decades we were told to avoid fat, especially saturated fat, but science has now made one thing very clear. The right fats don't age you, they energize you. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As you get older, your mitochondria, the little power plants inside every cell, start to slow down. They produce less ATP, your cellular energy currency. That's why you might feel more fatigue, brain fog, or even chronic inflammation as you age. But mitochondria don't run on carbs or sugar very well. In fact, those fuels can create a lot of metabolic waste and oxidative stress. What your mitochondria love, especially in a fasting or low insulin state, are ketones, and one of the fastest ways to make clean, sustainable ketones is by eating a special type of fat called MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, which brings us to superfood 2-MCT oil, or raw coconut oil. MCT oil is a unique fat that bypasses your normal digestive process and goes straight to the liver, where it's quickly converted into ketones, even if you're not on a strict ketogenic diet. Think of MCTs like jet fuel for your brain and cells. Why does that matter for aging? Because ketones do 3 remarkable things. They boost mitochondrial efficiency, giving your cells more clean energy. They suppress appetite, helping reduce cravings, insulin spikes, and overeating. They reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 of the primary drivers of aging. This is why many people feel more mentally sharp, physically energized, and emotionally stable when they begin incorporating MCT oil into their routine. Here's a simple analogy. Think of your cells like a fireplace. Burning sugar is like throwing wet wood into that fire. It smokes, sputters, and leaves behind a mess, oxidative stress. Burning ketones from MCT oil is like using clean, dry kindling. It lights up instantly, burns clean, and leaves very little residue. That's exactly what your aging cells need. Clean fuel with minimal metabolic waste. The metabolic advantage. Unlike other fats, MCTs do not require bile or complex enzymes to digest. They go straight into the bloodstream and deliver energy fast without any impact on blood sugar or insulin. That means no fat storage, no blood sugar crashes, no cravings rebound, and since MCTs are completely carb-free, they work synergistically with intermittent fasting or a ketogenic approach to accelerate fat burning and support cognitive longevity. How to use it? Start with 1 teaspoon of MCT oil in the morning, ideally with black coffee or tea. Work up gradually to 1 tablespoon, as too much at once can cause digestive upset. Use before fasted walks or workouts for enhanced fat burning. For a whole food version, try 1-2 tablespoons of raw coconut oil, which contains about 60% MCTs naturally. Pro tip: combine MCT oil with cinnamon or C8-based MCT oil, a purer form to maximize ketone production and reduce inflammation. If you prefer to rack up some C60, plan around 20 to 30% more fat and protein to save on ketones for later. Pro tip: combine MCT oil with cinnamon or C8-based MCT oil, a pure form of CPC oil, to maximize ketone production and reduce inflammation. Research highlight: a 2021 meta-analysis in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that daily MCT supplementation improved memory recall, reduced body fat, and enhanced insulin sensitivity in adults over 60, even without changing their diet. And a study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience from 2022 showed that ketone production from MCTs enhanced brain metabolism in seniors with mild cognitive decline, helping to slow the progression of brain aging. If you're enjoying this content, take a moment to subscribe. I post science-backed tools like this every week to help you master your energy, metabolism, and longevity. Naturally, as we age, one of the most common complaints I hear is, my joints ache, I feel stiff in the morning, and my brain just isn't as sharp. What most people don't realize is that these issues often stem from a silent, systemic inflammation happening inside the body, not just wear and tear. And that inflammation is often driven by a deficiency in one specific type of nutrient, long-chain omega-3 fatty acids, and anti-inflammatory fats that the body cannot make on its own. So here's what's really going on inside your body. Your brain and joints are made largely of fat, DHA, EPA, collagen, and other structural components. As you age, your body's ability to rebuild and repair these tissues decline. Combine that with a lifetime of eating inflammatory oils, canola, soybean, corn, and refined carbs, and your tissues become more brittle, inflamed, and slow to heal. But here's the good news. You can reverse much of this inflammatory aging if you give your body the correct kind of fat. And that brings us to superfood 3, wild-caught sardines. These tiny fish are one of the most nutrient-dense, anti-aging, and anabolically healing foods on the planet. They're rich in omega-3 fats, EPA and DHA, powerful anti-inflammatories that protect the brain, heart, and joints, vitamin D3, essential for hormone balance, immune health, and calcium absorption, calcium and collagen, especially when you eat the soft bones and skin, CoQ10 and selenium, key mitochondrial protectors, zero carbs, zero sugar, and naturally high in protein and good fats. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your joints and brain are like a sponge. When they're young and full of healthy fats, they're springy, flexible, and absorb stress well. But over time, especially with the wrong diet, that sponge dries out and stiffens, it cracks, it inflames. Sardines are like a deep moisturizing repair kit, replenishing the oils and minerals that restore bounce, cushion, and electrical function in your tissues. And that's especially important after age 50, when inflammation increases and tissue regeneration slows down. Why sardines over fish oil capsules? Because sardines are a whole food source, perfectly balanced with cofactors and minerals. You're not just getting omega-3s, you're getting calcium, phosphorus, collagen, trace minerals, and even natural vitamin D3, all in the right ratio. Plus, sardines are low on the food chain, meaning minimal mercury or toxin exposure. Shelf-stable, affordable, and convenient. Completely zero carb with zero insulin impact. Perfect for metabolic healing. How to use it. Choose wild-caught sardines in olive oil or spring water. Eat one small can, 3.0s, 3.0, 3.4 times per week. Include the skin and bones. These are rich in calcium and collagen. Pair with lemon juice and fresh herbs for flavor and enhanced mineral absorption. Pro tip, blend them into avocado, olive oil, and mustard to make a creamy sardine spread that masks the fishy flavor while preserving the nutrition. Research highlight a 2020 study in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology found that frequent sardine consumption significantly improved HDL, the good, cholesterol, reduced triglycerides, and lowered systemic inflammation markers like CRP, especially in adults over 60. Another study in Frontiers in Nutrition, 2021, linked omega-3 rich seafood intake with improved cognitive performance and reduced dementia risk in older adults, particularly when consumed from whole foods rather than supplements. So if you're experiencing joint stiffness, brain fog, or low-grade fatigue, start using sardines as a weekly therapeutic food. Not only are they incredibly anti-aging, but they're also one of the cleanest, most efficient ways to nourish your body without any blood sugar impact. Let's start with this common misconception. As long as I'm eating protein, I'm protecting my muscles and joints. Not necessarily, because not all protein is created equal, especially when it comes to aging. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As you age, you begin to lose collagen, the most abundant protein in your body. Collagen is what keeps your skin firm, joints flexible, and bones resilient. Starting in your mid-30s and accelerating after age 50, collagen production declines by about 1.5% per year. This is why wrinkles appear, joints get stiffer, tendons become more prone to injury, and even the gut lining can weaken, leading to leaky gut and inflammation. And here's the key. Most people's diets don't supply any real collagen because modern cuts of meat are mostly muscle meat, not connective tissue. That's why Superfood 4 is so important. Implement Superfood 4, bone broth, or hydrolyzed collagen peptides. Bone broth is a zero-carb, mineral-rich, collagen-loaded superfood that helps rebuild your connective tissue from the inside out. It contains type 1 tryptophan collagen for skin, joints, and gut lining, glycine and proline, amino acids that support liver detox and tissue repair, glucosamine and chondroitin, which cushion and lubricate joints, hyaluronic acid helps retain moisture in skin and joints, electrolytes like magnesium, potassium, and sodium, essential for muscle and nerve function. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body is like a building. Muscle protein is like the bricks. Important, yes. But collagen is like the cement, insulation, and scaffolding that holds everything together. If you only eat muscle meat, you're rebuilding the structure but ignoring the foundation. Over time, that structure becomes unstable. You start to see sagging skin, joint pain, and gut issues. Not because you're underfed, but because you're missing the glue. Bone broth provides that glue. And unlike muscle meat, it has zero carbs and zero insulin response, making it a perfect support tool during fasting or ketogenic states. What makes bone broth different from regular protein powders? Most protein powders are made from whey or casein, fast-absorbing, muscle-building proteins. But they don't contain the collagen peptides and joint-supporting amino acids found in bone broth. Bone broth protein is slow-absorbing, gut-friendly, and anti-inflammatory, helping to calm the immune system while rebuilding tissue integrity. And for people over 50, it's one of the best ways to rebuild lean mass and connective tissue without putting stress on the pancreas or triggering insulin. How to use it? Drink 1 cup of homemade or store-bought bone broth 4 to 5 days per week, or add 1-2 scoops of hydrolyzed collagen powder to your coffee, tea, or smoothie daily. Look for grass-fed or pasture-raised sources with no fillers or sweeteners. Combine with vitamin C, lemon, acerola, or camu-camu to boost collagen synthesis. Use during fasting windows to support healing without breaking ketosis. Pro tip: sip warm bone broth during your evening wind down to calm cortisol and support deep sleep. Glycine has a natural calming effect on the nervous system. Research highlight: a 2018 randomized trial in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that collagen supplementation significantly improved skin elasticity, hydration, and collagen density in women over 50. And another study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine showed that collagen peptides combined with resistance training increased lean body mass and reduced joint pain in older adults far more effectively than standard protein alone. If this content is helping you rethink your approach to aging, hit the like button and consider subscribing. I post natural, science-backed tools like this weekly. Let me start with a question. Are you eating clean but still struggling with bloating, cravings, or fatigue? If so, the root issue might not be what you're eating, but how your gut is processing it. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, the lining of the gut becomes more permeable, digestion slows, and our microbiome diversity declines. That means fewer beneficial bacteria, more inflammation, and lower nutrient absorption, especially of B vitamins, minerals, and even amino acids. And when your gut is inflamed or unbalanced, it affects everything: blood sugar regulation, hormone detoxification, brain chemistry, immune function, cravings, and satiety signals. But there's one category of food that directly restores gut integrity without carbs or sugar and can literally shift your metabolic health in just a few weeks. Superfood 5, fermented raw sauerkraut. This may surprise you. Sauerkraut, when it's raw, unpasteurized, and fermented properly, is one of the most powerful, probiotic-rich, anti-inflammatory, zero-carb foods you can eat. It contains lactobacillus and bifidobacterium strains, which support digestion, immune health, and hormone clearance. Short-chain fatty acid precursors like butyrate, which reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. Organic acids and natural enzymes to enhance bile flow and fat digestion. Zero sugars and no impact on insulin. Ideal for metabolic healing. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your gut as a garden. Over the years, things get overgrown with weeds, harmful bacteria, yeast, and inflammation. Your job is to pull the weeds and plant beneficial flowers. Raw sauerkraut is like adding living compost full of life and balance to restore that inner garden. The good bacteria begin crowding out the bad, calming inflammation, and sealing up the gut lining like patchwork on a leaky hose. This has profound effects beyond digestion. Because once your gut starts healing, so does your brain, your metabolism, and your immune system. Hormones like leptin, ghrelin, and cortisol become better regulated, which means more energy, fewer cravings, and less fat storage. The metabolic gut-brain connection: your gut microbes actually communicate with your brain through the vagus nerve, producing neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. A healthy gut means a calmer, clearer brain, which is why people often feel emotionally more stable when they start eating fermented foods. Raw sauerkraut also produces a compound called histone deacetylase inhibitors, which support epigenetic repair, turning off inflammatory genes, and activating longevity pathways. And again, it's completely zero carb, zero sugar, and insulin neutral. How to use it? Look for raw, refrigerated sauerkraut, not canned or pasteurized, which kills the probiotics. Start with 1 tablespoon per day, building up to 1/4 to 1/2 cup daily. Eat with fatty meals. It enhances bile flow and nutrient absorption. Try varieties with garlic, ginger, or turmeric for added anti-inflammatory effects. Rotate with other raw ferments like kimchi or fermented pickles for diversity. Pro tip: If you experience gas or bloating at first, start slow. That's a sign your gut is adjusting and healing. Research highlight: a 2022 study published in Cell found that daily consumption of fermented vegetables increased microbiome diversity, reduced over 19 inflammatory markers, and improved immune function, particularly in adults over 55. Another study in Nature Metabolism, 2021, found that short-chain fatty acids from fermented foods improved insulin signaling and reduced visceral fat, independent of calorie intake. If you're getting value from this, consider liking the video and subscribing. It helps me continue bringing you practical science-based tools to reverse aging and fix metabolism naturally. If you're constantly feeling tired, foggy, or just off, despite eating clean, you might be missing the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. Let me explain. As we age, our body's demand for micronutrients, especially B vitamins, iron, zinc, and fat-soluble vitamins like A and K2, increases. These nutrients are critical for energy production in the mitochondria, hormone synthesis, especially thyroid and adrenal hormones, immune regulation and inflammation control, brain function and mood stability, DNA repair and detoxification. Yet the standard healthy diet, even a clean one, often lacks these key nutrients in their bioavailable form. And here's the kicker: plant-based sources often don't cut it for seniors because absorption declines with age. You need pre-formed, highly usable nutrients your body can actually absorb and utilize. So what's the solution? Superfood 6, grass-fed beef liver or freeze-dried liver capsules. Beef liver is arguably the most potent anti-aging superfood in the animal kingdom. Here's what you get in just one small serving. Vitamin A, retinol, crucial for skin, vision, immune defense, and hormone function. B12 plus folate plus B2 for energy, methylation, and brain health. Iron, easily absorbed, supports oxygen delivery and mood. Zinc, copper, selenium, key trace minerals for the thyroid immune system and antioxidant defenses. CoQ10 supports the heart and mitochondria. Choline, essential for liver function, cognition, and fat metabolism. And importantly, it's zero carb, zero sugar, and deeply satiating. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body as a high-performance engine. Most people are fueling it with regular gas, multivitamins, processed foods, or even just lean meats. But beef liver is like premium-grade jet fuel, giving your body access to nutrients in their most active, usable form. This is especially important for mitochondrial energy production, which is the real driver of aging. As mitochondria slow down, you feel it as fatigue, brain fog, and metabolic sluggishness. Beef liver reactivates that engine by providing the raw materials your cells need to produce ATP efficiently and repair damage faster. How to use it. Eat 1-2 ounces of cooked grass-fed liver 1 to 2 times per week. If the taste or texture is hard to tolerate, use freeze-dried liver capsules, 2-6 per day, depending on the brand. Pair liver with foods rich in vitamin C, like lemon juice or sauerkraut, to enhance iron absorption. Never eat liver daily. It's powerful, but fat-soluble vitamins like A can build up over time. Pro tip: try blending small amounts into ground beef, chili, or meatballs to mask the flavor while getting the benefits. Research highlight: studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have shown that older adults with higher intake of B12, retinol, and heme iron, all found abundantly in liver, experience better memory retention, improved energy, and fewer signs of frailty. Another 2023 review in Nutrients noted that organ meats, especially liver, provide a synergistic mix of nutrients that are superior to synthetic multivitamins because they come in the form your body naturally recognizes and absorbs. Why this matters? Most seniors are subtly malnourished at the cellular level, even if they're eating plenty. Liver fills in the gaps, especially for nutrients that support the thyroid, adrenal glands, and immune function. That means that more times than not, your body isn't. And again, it's one of the most powerful zero-carb foods available, making it ideal for reversing insulin resistance, boosting mitochondrial health, and optimizing hormones. Let me start with a surprising fact. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and it runs better on fat than it does on glucose. This is especially true as we age. Most people over 50 struggle with low energy, brain fog, and creeping weight gain. Not because of their age, but because they've lost metabolic flexibility. That means their body is stuck in sugar-burning mode and can't efficiently switch to burning fat for fuel. But what if you could retrain your metabolism to burn fat all day long, even at rest, while improving mental clarity and stabilizing hormones? That's exactly what this next superfood helps you do. Superfood 7, MCT oil, medium chain triglycerides. MCTs are a type of pure fat derived from coconut oil, and they're unique because they're absorbed directly into the liver and converted into ketones, even if you're not in a full ketogenic state. Why does this matter? Ketones are a clean-burning fuel for both the body and brain. They increase mental focus and reduce brain fog, lower appetite and cravings by stabilizing blood sugar, support fat oxidation, your body burns more of its own fat, reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, improve mitochondrial function, the true key to anti-aging, and unlike long-chain fats, MCTs don't require bile or pancreatic enzymes for digestion, making them perfect for older adults with sluggish digestion. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your metabolism is like a hybrid car. Most people are stuck in gasoline mode, always needing more carbs or snacks to keep going. MCT oil flips the switch to electric mode. Clean, efficient, and long-lasting. You no longer need constant refueling because you're tapping into a more stable energy source, your own stored fat. Over time, this metabolic switch leads to better insulin sensitivity, more consistent energy, easier weight loss, fewer energy crashes and cravings. How to use it? Start with 1 teaspoon of MCT oil in the morning, in coffee, tea, or a smoothie. Slowly increase to 1-2 tablespoons per day, if tolerated. Best taken during intermittent fasting windows to boost ketone production without breaking your fast. Look for C8, caprylic acid, or C10 MCTs for faster ketone conversion. Avoid MCT blends with added fillers, seed oils, or artificial flavors. Pro tip, if you're just starting out, go slow. MCT oil is powerful. Taking too much too fast can cause digestive upset. Research highlight, a 2016 study published in Neurobiology of Aging found that MCT oil improved cognitive performance in adults with mild memory issues, likely due to its ability to raise circulating ketone levels. Another study in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism showed that daily MCT intake significantly increased fat oxidation and thermogenesis, even without calorie restriction, making it a powerful tool for weight management and metabolic restoration. Why this matters? One of the key drivers of aging is mitochondrial decline. Your cells lose their ability to produce energy efficiently. MCT oil helps reactivate those mitochondria, giving your brain and muscles a more youthful fuel source. And again, it's completely zero carb, zero sugar, and insulin neutral. It's not just a fat, it's a metabolic trainer. Let's take a moment to zoom out. We've just covered 8 powerful, zero carb, zero sugar superfoods, each one selected not just for what it contains, but for what it does inside your body. Let's recap the key takeaways. Pasture-raised eggs feed your brain, heal your hormones, and provide perfect protein. Wild-caught sardines rebuild your heart, bones, and mitochondria with omega-3s and calcium grass-fed beef tallow. Stabilize hormones and fuel fat burning without carbs. Repair your joints, gut lining, and skin from the inside out. Raw fermented sauerkraut. Rebalance your microbiome and lower inflammation. Grass-fed beef liver. Recharge your cells with the most bioavailable nutrients on earth, MCT oil. Train your metabolism to burn fat and support your brain. Himalayan sea salt from Section 4, restore electrolytes, lower stress hormones, and rehydrate cells. What all of these have in common is this: they nourish your body without triggering insulin, inflammation, or digestive overload. That's the trifecta for reversing aging. Here's what's really going on inside your body when you make these changes. Your insulin sensitivity improves, which unlocks fat burning and reduces chronic disease risk. Your liver and gut get a break, so detoxification, hormone metabolism, and digestion all improve. Your mitochondria produce more energy, which means better focus, stamina, and resilience. Your inflammation and oxidative stress go down, which slows biological aging at the cellular level. Your hormones begin to rebalance naturally. Thyroid, adrenal, leptin, and sex hormones all benefit. And the best part, these foods don't rely on willpower or strict calorie counting. They work with your biology, not against it. Your action step: try just one of these superfoods this week. Maybe you start your morning with a teaspoon of MCT oil, or you add collagen-rich bone broth to dinner, or you swap processed snacks for hard-boiled, pasture-raised eggs. Whatever you choose, track how you feel. Are you more focused, less hungry, sleeping better? These are signs your metabolism is shifting. Remember, small hinges swing big doors. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to start with one consistent, biologically smart upgrade. Final thought: